This video is to help students who are trying to set up and use MySQL Workbench just to get started and get things set up in the correct way so that you have no troubles with this. I've added this to the week 4 assignment sheet. Actually, it's in the Dropbox instead. And once this is over, I will add a link to this video so that you can actually have that as listed under the assignment as well. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I am on the virtual desktop interface, the VDI from campus. Got to by this address. And the way that you can tell is I'm on my own personal machine on a PC or laptop. You're going to see something like this at the top corner that tells you that you're actually inside of, you're basically a machine inside of a machine, or a desktop inside of a desktop. So when you see this up here running, I don't have anything else special running to help me with this. This is nothing more than the interface that you use when you do the Citrix VDI connection. So since I'm already in, and I'm obviously inside of the course here, first thing I want to do is start up MySQL Workbench by going to the Start menu, All Programs, scroll down till you get to the MySQL folder, and then right now we're using version 6.2, Community Edition. Whatever is on the VDI right now is exactly the one you need to use. So I'll go ahead and get that started up. And what I want to walk you through is how to get a connection built. In the following videos after this, we'll talk about how to move scripts around, how to run files, how to do all types of things to where you can actually play with the databases that you're going to build for this week. So first of all, I want you to go up to this plus sign for connections. And this lets you set up a connection you're going to be using. Up here at the top, name it anything you want. In the drop down, you're going to choose standard TCP/IP over SSH. And then we need to fill in certain things. So you'll see me filling in some. They're on the instruction sheet. And some I'm going to skip over because they don't need to be changed. This first one is the name of our server. This is listed on the sheet as well. And then for the username, every time you have a username on our server, it will be your student ID, and it must be full uppercase all the time. For this example, I'm going to use my student account that I have created. Just a blank student account. I'm going to come down to the SQL host name, which is just localhost. The port doesn't change, and then the username again. After those are filled in, which are just 4 or 5 things here, click on Test Connection. It will ask you for a password. You'll type it in, and the password is listed on the sheet, but you'll type this in twice. So the first time here is, notice we're getting to the SSH part of it. We're getting through the server. Hit OK there. If you ever get this message about the fingerprint missing, just hit Continue. We're not using an RSA key. And then you'll have to wait a little bit, and it should ask you again if you have a second password. Your passwords are both the same. Now, if this hangs up, I have noticed just this week, and so this is brand new information. We're trying to work around how to get this fixed up. Notice after that RSA key, I have no clickable events, nothing I can deal with. On the VDI, this is a very simple fix. Go up to this box, and you want to do the Control-Alt-Delete. Now, this is sending Control-Alt-Delete to the VDI, not to your machine. And again, you can't do Control-Alt-Delete on your keyboard because that's for your machine. We want it to happen inside of this. Click there. Start the Task Manager. Close Workbench down by clicking on MySQL Workbench in the Applications tab and hit End. It says it's not responding, so go ahead and close it. And then we can do this one more time. So back to All Programs, MySQL, open up Workbench. Again, new connection. Again, standard TCP over IP, but it's going to be SSH. At this point, I do want to point out that no, this does not remember when you start SQL and then shut it down. If you log out of the VDI and then come back in, it will not remember. If you disconnect, it'll remember for a brief period of time, but overnight it does reset again. Sorry, make sure localhost is all lowercase. Now, test connection again. Same password prompt we had before. The first one is for the actual server. We should not have one now. Notice it did not ask us about the RSA key. So this time, notice it's saying for your service, you're connecting to MySQL now. Again, that will be the same password. And it says it is connected. We'll hit OK. OK again, and it creates a connection here. To actually start this connection up, simply click on the gray box, supply your passwords, and at this point, since it does work, you can save it in the vault if you would like to, but remember, it does not remember this from one session to the next. The next time you log out, log back into the VDI, you'll have to do all this again. And here you are inside the MySQL Workbench in the SQL command spot. So we have commands we can type here. Over here is context help. Normally I set this up so that this window only takes up a small portion of it, because this is supposed to be just help, context help specifically. And while you're here, remember to turn on this box right here that will automatically give you help whenever you ask for something. So if I try to type a SQL command like select something, then you should start getting help here, and if it matches something, it will put the help over here as well. All right, that's the end of part 1. Be sure to tune in for some of the others, and we'll talk about more how to get the scripts into here and how to actually run them.